makes you look good there.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Around South Jersey. My special guest tonight is the man of radio in all of South Jersey. It's Carl Hemple from Crusin 92.1 WVLT-FM. Carl, I like that. That's actually probably one of my favorite cars, 57.
Is it really?
Yeah, I love those cars. I didn't have one. I had my first car I got it brand new. It was a 63 Chevy.
Mm-hmm.
That is really cool. Did you have
Actually, I did years ago, but actually when we went into getting a satellite service for overnight,
okay,
we had Jones Satellite at that time. And they were the ones that suggested that. That wasn't my idea. That was them. And we've used it ever since.
Yeah,
it's been popular.
Yeah, it's very popular, as is the radio station. And, of course, for everybody, if you don't know Carl, he is the radio station. I mean, they've got some great DJs and some wonderful people. But without him, there would not be a Crusin 92.1. Tell everybody how many years.
That's because I got a face made for radio, not TV. That's for damn sure.
Tell everybody how many years you've been there, Carl.
35.
And you're a general manager?
General manager, CEO.
CEO. And how many
and
years?
Sales.
Well,
I clean the bathrooms also.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I know what it is to have to
you
go out and sell and try to do what you have to do.
You hire these younger kids, they don't want to clean the bathrooms.
No,
They're too good to get their hands dirty.
But that's fantastic. What got you interested in the radio?
Actually, I had a lot of rentals at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I was managing the rentals, but I wanted to get into something else. And I happened to see an advertising for a salesperson for WVLT.
Uh-huh.
At that time, they were on Landis Avenue in
I
the
do remember
PNC
that.
building.
Yes, right in the bank building. Yeah.
So Dave Feidler was the general manager at the
That's
time.
right. Yeah.
So I went down and applied for it. So there were two other people there applying for it also. So we had interviews, and he actually took three of us together.
Wow, that's interesting.
And those two were talking some real crap, and I said, I don't know if I can keep up with these fellas or not. We're talking all kind. One of them lasted 4 days. The other one lasted 2 weeks.
Not surprised.
I've been there 35.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the nice thing is you got great people skills, and you enjoy people, and you build great relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that the reason Quinn Broadcasting has existed, again, it's hard to find salespeople, and pretty much doing it all myself. But I've built some good relationships over my 47 years that I've been here doing this. And, of course, there was a period of time where I let Ken Pustizzi take over Channel 22, and then I bought time from you guys and on Channel 2. And then eventually...
Yeah, your ratings way went up when you were with us,
Oh,
that,
absolutely.
Right?
My God,
yeah.
it was the lights were flashing. Yeah.
By the way, I want to thank you very much for having me. It's a Senior Citizens Month, and I know you're having seniors in this month. I want to thank you for having me in as a senior.
Well, I wanted somebody that's like my
Thank
colleague
you.
here.
Oh, yeah. Listen to him. I can remember when I used to watch you when I was a kid.
Yeah, that's true. Boy, it was funny. Speaking of that, I had 4 locations back in the 80s. I had built a cable television system with a partner of mine, Joe O'Donnell, in Morris River Commercial, Down, Lawrence, Fairfield, Deerfield Townships. And we had that show called Auction Time, which I did.
remember that. That's very popular.
It was, very much so, Carl. And you know what was interesting? When we did that, we only had 13 channels, so I wasn't competing with 300 channels, and did very well. And I rented a place in Bridgeton next to Weber's Candy Store.
Mm-hmm.
And
Remember that.
then in Vinelend, I was at Corf's Lumber Yard on South Elsie Drive in Vinelend. And, of course, here in Millville, and then actually at 129 High Street in Millville for a while. And then in the townships, I was in our office building down there. So I had 3 other people besides myself doing the shows, and they worked well. They really did. And then all of a sudden we decided, well, maybe instead of bringing stuff in to sell, I'll go out and sell in somebody's business. And I went to Al Falciani. You remember him at Positive Furniture and Appliance?
Yes.
And went in and did a show there, and he said, oh, my God, Jim, this is the best show I've ever had. He never had one before, but he said it was amazing, all the people and how fabulous it was. Well, then we tried doing it every week, and that was too much.
Yeah.
Once a month was enough.
Yeah. It's a shame that location has never succeeded since he left.
That's sad, yeah.
You know?
Yes, exactly. It's a great location,
Yeah.
nice building, and all that stuff. And then we went to doing car dealers, selling car dealers. That was our weekend things. And I've had some of them, like Rick Novick told me, it was not unusual for them to sell 20 to 25 cars a weekend from the TV. But now everybody just grabs their phone, says, "Hey Siri, I'm looking for a blah blah blah," and it pops up. So
Yeah.
the
Well,
computers
back
hurt
in
my
them
business.
days, I mean, you were hot with I call them the remotes. With the remote
Yeah,
with the car shows,
right.
you were
Yeah.
hot with that. Nobody could compete with you.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, that was a good one.
and mainly because of the TV part of it.
Yeah,
You're seeing the product.
yes,
You can,
yeah,
you
it's
know,
true.
you
Yeah.
see it. And that's what makes it sometimes tough with radio sell.
Yeah,
You can't
Yeah.
see it. You can't
Yeah.
touch it.
yeah,
It's an intangible
yeah,
type product. But you did very, very well with that.
yeah. But
For
I mean,
years.
to your credit, you've done phenomenal with WVLT. I mean, radio, like my business now too, is tougher, because of the internet and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, you've had
It's not only tougher, it's really a
Yeah.
strain.
Yeah, it is. You're right. I mean, I'm on the phone calling people I have relationships with, and like for instance, this weekend we've got the Legends program that Complete Care puts
Mm-hmm.
on, and they're honoring Darlene Barber, Steve Plevin, so I'm sure you know from
Oh,
Vinelend.
yeah. Good people.
Yeah, and Jimmy Tenbrook. And I was at least able
I
to.
actually went to Steve Plevin's wedding.
Did you really?
Yeah.
He just got married recently, right?
Yeah, a couple of years.
Okay.
He didn't invite me on the honeymoon, though.
Oh, geez.
He said no.
Well, he
He's
knew
good.
your reputation.
Yeah.
He didn't want you around
Shh,
there.
my wife might be watching this. He was,
And speaking of Gladys, she's
he's a good man.
wonderful.
Plevin's a good man.
He is, isn't he?
Yeah.
What a wonderful volunteer!
Yeah.
My God.
Okay, you started talking about Gladys. You started to say something about Gladys?
I just said Gladys is a wonderful lady. Gladys
He's trying to
was-
make up for what he
was
just said.
was a council person in the city of Bridgeton for
Yeah.
quite a while, right?
Yeah, right now she's
teaching,
she's
isn't
on
she?
the committee for the county for heritage and culture,
Cultural
on
and
the
Heritage
board.
Commission, right? Yeah.
and she's on the board of directors for Compass Academy in the charter
Oh, sure.
school.
Yes.
She's on there along with Dr. Baptist. That's your friend.
Oh, it's my buddy. Yeah, he's got a great sense
Yeah.
of humor. He's almost
We
as
both
funny
had the
as
same
you.
doctor. Everybody. You
That's
know,
right.
he
Yeah,
takes
that's
care
why
of-
we're doing well. We got Dr.
He
Bob.
takes care of us.
Yeah, our hearts are ticking well thanks to Dr. B. And doesn't Gladys teach?
Yes,
Where does
but
she?
but
in the charter,
she's more or less now in charge of before and after school programs.
at the charter school? Or?
At the charter
Oh,
school.
Okay, gotcha. Now they're over where St. Francis used to be. Right?
That's correct.
Yeah, that's nice. That's good. I'm glad she's doing that as well.
Yeah,
And,
they're doing well over there.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Did you ever think about running for office? Or
No.
Did you? No. Because everybody knows you. I mean,
I see what I see what a lot of them go through headache wise. It's just hard to please the majority.
oh, believe me, I've been there.
You've been there.
Yeah, sure have.
You know, you've been there.
Yeah, 35 years of it.
Haven't been asked, yeah.
Yeah,
But
sure.
I just I have enough headaches with running a radio station.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
mean, we have two stations. We also have a
Yes.
Spanish station,
Yes, that's true. Is that WMIZ?
WMIZ.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
And-
do very well with it with the Spanish station.
that's good. That's great.
Yeah, been around for a while. I was very lucky, even during the pandemic. Things were tough. I mean, let's face it, the merchants they couldn't get product, they couldn't get employees. Most of them were closed up.
Sure. Yep.
But I didn't lose any employees that whole time.
That's
They
great.
stuck with me,
That's
and
nice.
some of them were for free.
Yeah, that's great.
They stuck.
Yeah,
And then when we started rolling again, we're doing well.
that's super. Well,
But-
tell us about some of your key
But I'm
people.
getting tired.
Yeah, no, hey,
35
years, and you have a strong shoulders because most
And-
of the burden is on you to make the money, to bring the money in.
And Jim, you know, you're in the business.
Yep.
You just can't find qualified salespeople anymore.
No, you can't. No.
And whether it's TV, radio,
Yeah,
or whatever it is,
absolutely.
you
Yeah.
got to have
Yeah.
people that are excited, have contacts,
Yes. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You've been very fortunate because you've had great contacts over the years.
As have you. Yeah.
I've had good
Yeah.
contacts over the year. The problem is, and you know this,
Yeah.
a lot of them are around our age or maybe close.
Yeah.
They're either retiring,
Yes.
dying,
Yeah.
or selling their businesses. In radio, especially, the younger crowd doesn't listen to radio anymore.
Yeah.
You know, they got the headphones on, and,
Yeah. That's
and
true. Yeah.
so it's hard to hit that market,
Right.
the younger
Yeah.
market.
Yeah.
So what it does, it makes it harder for you to sell some of the younger owners because
Yeah.
they say, well, my clientele doesn't listen to radio.
Right.
TV's a little different.
Well, the one thing as you were talking about that, I'm thinking advantage that I have with TV is everything is on YouTube. So like our show tonight, anybody anywhere in the world can go put in Quinn Broadcasting on the YouTube channel and see whatever they want to see. So that's helped us. And the other factor too, Carl, you know and I know, you don't have like, I don't know what you used to call the measurement for television. There's a certain company that did that. Thank you. We've never had that.
But you can't afford it.
No. Well, and with a local channel.
Very expensive for what your return's going to be.
Yeah, that's a good point. So I guess the thing is, I can say, okay, we go into 67,000 people's homes, but there's 300 channels. You know, who knows how many people are watching Channel 22. But at least, like when we do Millville High School football, I can show the advertisers we have as many as 10,000 viewers a game. Of course, they're winning, so that means a lot, you know. And the parades are popular, certain things, you know, and I know you're
all into them parades, aren't you? Huh?
Well, hey, who's been running the Vinelend Parade for many years?
I have. Well, I'm co. I can't take full credit.
Who helps you?
Well, Russell and Barbetti.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
They're good people, too.
We work as a team.
That's good.
Got a good team.
Yeah.
Put together a good parade.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I really do.
Now, going back, I've been involved, 27 years.
Wow.
And a couple of those years I had it by myself, chairman of the whole thing. And one year we won a state award.
Oh,
We had
congratulations.
200 and some entries.
Wow.
Right.
That's fabulous.
They gave me hell. I had to cut them down the next year.
The parade was 4 hours long.
Try to line them up.
Oh, yeah, that's true, too.
I mean, you're familiar with Melville and Bridgeton because you did them a lot.
Yeah.
It's you got to find the space. We had all the side streets lined up. I mean,
Wow.
it was really a chore for the police and public works.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So I understood it. So now we usually on the Vinelend Parade we get maybe 120 units,
That's still a lot.
and that's enough.
Yeah.
Otherwise it gets too crowded. We used to get a lot of antique cars. We don't get a lot of antique cars anymore.
Right.
For whatever reason, I don't know. But
Yeah, Millville doesn't seem to have as many either, and of course the Jeeps are popular. Right? You probably get them involved.
we got the Jeep clubs. Yes.
Yeah, get those occasionally here as well. We're talking with Carl Hemple, who is Mr. Crusin 92.1 FM WVLT, and we'll be back to talk more with Carl right after these messages.
Many people treat their health like a game. With Complete Care Health Network, it's easy to start your healthcare journey. Just select from our specialties and schedule online, by phone, or on our app. Our entire team communicates with one another, so everyone works together on your total health. Plus, we make it even easier with all of these additional benefits. Level up your health with us. Complete Care Health Network. No games, just great health care for everyone.
More than a century ago, General Tire was born, right here in America. Since then, we've made a name for ourselves by making tires you can depend on. Tires built to handle any road this country can throw at them, and relied on by every kind of driver. So you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
In Cumberland County, let's recycle right. We recycle cardboard, paper, aluminum, tin, and plastics number 1 and 2. Look for the 3-arrow triangle usually on the bottom of the plastic container. The number in the center determines the plastic number. Remember to recycle only number 1 and 2 plastics. Plastic bags, plastic film, hoses, and wires are not recyclable. They can damage sorting equipment and create hazardous working conditions. Don't trash our future. Do the right thing. Remember, reduce, reuse, and recycle.
Welcome back to Around South Jersey. My special guest is Carl Hemple, who is the general manager and CEO of Crusin 92.1 WVLT, and great station to listen to. I enjoy the music a lot. And you do have some talk shows on Saturdays, Carl?
We do. We have a lot of talk shows after 5 o'clock at night.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And Saturdays and Sundays mostly we have religious shows.
Right. Yeah.
But you've got to have a variety of things in order to make it profitable.
Oh, absolutely.
Otherwise,
Sure.
I mean, for an example, I know you can remember this. Years ago, we were a completely music station.
Yeah.
We couldn't compete with like Sirius and things, company like
Yeah.
that where you pay.
Right. Yeah.
Well, when I went into talk shows, I was criticized quite a bit
That was a
because I
smart
went into
move,
talk
though.
shows.
Yeah.
If you remember, my program director quit because we were going into talk shows.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
He did. He was great too. I mean, we were still friends,
Yeah.
but he just didn't believe in the talk show part of it. But so we have music during the day, and we have talk shows during the weekends and some evenings.
Uh-huh.
And what I mean by talk shows, it's called a brokered show. They pay us to come in,
Right.
and they tell their story, whatever the case may be. Most of it's politics.
Uh-huh.
Some of it's not.
Right.
Some of it's talking about sports and things like that. But that's the only way you had to have a variety of things in order to survive.
Sure. Gotcha.
So I
Yeah.
took the criticism, all right? And as I mentioned to you before, out of 20 years, 19 of those years, we were voted the most listened to station in South Jersey, according to the Daily Journal.
Congratulations.
I don't know if they stuffed the box or not, but, but anyhow, it felt
That's
good.
super. Yeah, that's fantastic.
But you have to do different things, and I know you have in the
Sure,
TV business.
Yeah, very similar. You know, we have the religious on Sunday and some talk shows. And what we've been able to find, Carl, that's worked for us is to go out like Friday night. We're doing the Legends over at Marigny Savoy, and they're honoring Jim Tenbrook and Steve Plevins, who we talked about earlier, and Darlene Barber. And, we televise it live, and then we replay it a lot. As we have to cover 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So we'll do chamber luncheons and sporting events and those type things. Again, there are specifics that are saleable more so than just if I just play music or just did something.
See, we had thought at one time to go on YouTube. The
Yeah.
problem is when you have
With music, it's tough, isn't it?
with music,
Yeah.
it's tough.
Yeah, that's what we found. We can't.
Plus, then you start getting into royalty fees.
Oh, okay.
All right, even with Facebook.
Yeah.
We
Right.
do a lot of Facebook. Almost
Yeah.
all of our talk shows are on Facebook.
Yeah, I think I was on Facebook when
You
I was
were.
on a talk show with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
until they complained. But anyhow,
I wondered why I didn't come back anymore.
but even on Facebook, if you got to watch what
Yeah.
music you play and all
Yeah,
that, so
exactly.
they'll cut you off.
Yeah. Oh, no. We've
Okay.
had that happen. In fact, our difficulty thing, thank God, thank you, Comcast, we didn't have a live line in our building. At one point when I connected with the SNJ Today people, I went over there. And so we were sending everything from here over to G Street where their offices were. And if we did it with YouTube, we'd get knocked down because we play any music gets on or anything. And I've had a lot of people say, well, do you have music? I said, I can't. Now I can. Now we're direct to Comcast head end, and I don't have to go through YouTube to get there anyway, as it turns out. But, yeah, you're right. I mean, it's the royalties.
So you sort of stick to what you can do best, and that's
Yeah.
what we try to do.
Yeah.
But over the years, 35 years, I've been blessed. I've met a lot of people that I probably would never have met.
Yeah.
We had Sally Starr for quite a few years on our
remember that,
station. We
yeah.
had Wee Willie Weber on our station
that's
for a number of
fantastic,
years. We
yeah.
had Chief Halftown,
Wow.
Jerry Blavitt.
Yeah, there's a picture of you with Jerry Blavitt.
Yeah.
We have.
Okay.
We'll see that
So-
sometime soon, I guess, George, right?
Yeah, well,
There
he
we
showed
go.
it to me. George
Yeah.
does a good job for you,
Oh,
by the way. You
he's-
better not ever lose that boy.
I pray every day for George. Without
Okay,
him,
good
the
man.
place will be out of business. But there's-
Kenny Jeremiah had a show with us for quite a long time.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
cried when he passed.
That's what you said earlier before you went
He
on
was a
the air.
good man. We had Billy Horner. Billy Horner is pretty sick right now, but we have Billy Horner,
Who's the guy on the left? That's your DJ guy.
Jimmy D.
Jimmy
yes.
D. Right. Yeah.
It's on
And
there.
then Gita
That's
with the
my
heater.
wife in the middle,
That
I think.
beautiful woman is Gladys. Yeah.
Little short, isn't she?
I like.
When she's
short
shorter
women.
than Blavitt.
But I don't like tall women, so she's good.
Yeah, we had Charlie Gracie for a while.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Yeah.
We had at the Hop Guys for a while.
Wow.
They were on for a while.
Yeah.
There's only one left.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah,
Wow.
there's only one left out of them. But I've met a lot of people, a lot of celebrities
Yeah.
that I wouldn't have met if
Yeah.
I wasn't in radio, and they're just a few.
Yeah.
Of many. and life has been good to me that way. It meant the travel, travel.
Right. Well, and it's interesting because you're very charismatic, and people flock to you. I mean, I guess we can go back a little bit because you keep talking to me about this. George, if you put up the American baseball thing that you have. In fact, you want to put your hat? Don't you have your hat for that?
For baseball? I got it on.
Oh, okay. This is the one. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was going to go through my hats real quick here for you.
Sure, we can do that.
There's my baseball thing.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say that that's back when I had competition from Millville. You understand
tell
all
everybody who the managers were in Millville.
Well, you had Tony Cerise and you had Judge Nader.
Yes.
All right.
Right.
They always give me headaches.
Good friends.
Very competitive.
Well,
but
that's
we had fun.
Yeah.
We had
fun.
fun.
And I mean, what a wonderful thing. But John Rose was involved somewhat.
John Rose had Bridgeton.
Okay, I knew.
And Cumberland Regional. He had them combined together.
Okay.
I was going to go through a little thing, but
sure.
I wanted to show in case Judge Nader's watching, some of these little buttons I have on here.
Uh-huh.
Okay, they were state championships.
Oh, wow.
And I wanted to tease him a bit because I love Judge Nader.
Yeah,
right?
I do too.
I just want to know where his is. Because Millville always give me a headache. And Tony Cerise was tough, right? When I saw him on the schedule, him and Joe Barth, Brooklawn, all right? Always tough, always tough. But we had fun.
But
we
you did
together.
well. Your team, like you said, you won championships, right?
Yeah, I have. Well, in Big League I had 3, and then in the American Legion I had 1.
Okay.
But I had a lot of district championships. But just it was tough back then. You didn't.
Yeah, very competitive.
Reason being is you didn't have all the traveling teams that you have now.
Yeah, right.
Probably if you want to consider the traveling team, it was American Legion back then.
Right. Yeah, they were the best.
And and then you had in my age category was 16 to 18. You had Big League, and I had a team in each.
Oh wow!
I used my little league, senior league as my minor league.
Okay.
And then I had the traveling league, which I call it traveling league, which was American Legion.
Right.
And then if I lost a player, I'd pull one up from them.
Oh, that's good. So you had a feeder system.
My thing was mandatory. You had to play Little League in order to play for me on American Legion.
Oh, that's good.
Because I did not want to destroy Little League.
Right, yeah.
And right now I'm on the district board with Tom Carvel. I mean,
Tom's a great guy.
He's twice as old as we are.
Yeah, that's why I like hanging
He's still hanging in there.
He actually, when I do the Millville football games, he runs the clock. He's like the official for the clock operator and stuff like that. And always, as you do, we've always liked Tom. I mean, that's a nice thing too, Carl, is we talk about, Tony Cerise and I are best friends. We talk almost every night. Steve Nader was the guy, the lawyer for me. He put together my cable television deal. He helped me in every way he could. And we've just been good friends for many, many, many years, and really enjoy him as well. So it is, and that's the value you get. I mean, I coached Little League for my 2 sons, the older son and the younger son. This is interesting, Carl. With my oldest son, and Millville had it set up then, where there were 2 Little Leagues, American and National. I was the American. So we played the National, we beat them, so we became the city champions. What they did was they let us go up for Millville night to Vet Stadium, and they let me get out on the field and hit ground balls to the infielders, and Bill Forrester, who was a judge, his boy was my top star pitcher.
I remember him.
He was hitting balls to the outfielders, and to this day, these guys are in their mid-50s, and they still say that is the highlight of their life.
Right.
Because they got to meet Pete Rose, Mike Schmidt, Larry Boa. They would say hello to him and all that. And, even for you and I, that's a thrilling thing to be able to do. And for them, at 12 years old, they were like, oh, my God, they were in 7th heaven. So then I got an each story to tell you with softball. I had the 13 to 15-year-old girls softball all-star team.
He's lucky, folks. I never had to coach against him.
Well, I don't know how good I was.
He had softball.
But it was funny that we went, and what I did, Carl, was I felt the girls are all all-stars. So I made up a chart before the games, and we usually play doubleheaders. So I made sure everybody got at least 3 innings in each game or something like that. Well, we're winning. And we get to the state finals or whatever, and one of my 2 coaches, who are great guys, they said to me, Jim, you got to stop this. I said, what's that? You can't play all the girls. You just play the 10 best girls. So I handed one of them the scorebook, and I said, you're the manager for tomorrow. And I just coached third base. Well, as it turned out, we did win. But a girl who was on my league team never got to play an inning in 14 innings. And her mother came by the dugout and said, Jim, that's it. Heather was her name. Heather's done. So I got home and I felt so bad. I called her. I said, Heather, I am so sorry. Look, I promise you, please come back tomorrow. I'll take back the team. You're going to play second base. You're going to play the whole game. Well, there is a softball god in heaven. She did. She went 3 for 4, triple, double, single, drove in 5 runs, and was named player of the game. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you know, and I don't know about you, but, I mean, luckily when I made All-Stars, I got to play at least a few innings. But, I mean, the opposite part is if you make the All-Star team and you don't play, that hurts you more than even not. I'd rather not make it if I'm not going to play, you know?
See, in Little League and Big League, right, they have a rule where you have to play everybody.
2 innings at least, right? Yeah.
So I mean, that way it gets them to play.
Yeah.
American Legion was a little different.
Well, it's higher
okay, you
level,
play, you play for
16,
blood,
18,
sort of,
yeah,
you know.
right.
So, I mean, but I tried to play everybody every game if I could, except for maybe my pitchers.
Oh, sure.
I wanted them on the side.
Yeah, right.
And most of the time, like Brooklawn, they would always want to play us a doubleheader. Nobody would play Joe Barth a doubleheader because they had a good team.
Oh, I see,
What they got 6 or 7 state championships and 2 nationals championships, and nobody went. But I looked at it this way: the better the teams you play, the better you're going to become.
Yeah, that's
because you're
point.
playing.
That's
Just
why
like if you go golfing, you go with good golfers, you're going to become a better golfer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You go with an average golfer, you're not going to improve because you're not going to try to beat them because you figure you're tied with them or whatever.
Yeah, right.
But I hear from a lot of high school parents now that a lot of their kids aren't being played.
That's a shame. Yeah.
You know, so what happens? They get discouraged.
Yeah, sure.
You know, because they're not playing.
Yeah.
So then some of them may drop off on the side, especially if they're a junior or a senior.
Sure. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And get a job or whatever. They say, well, why are you doing that? You know, the parents will say, we want you to stay in sports. But dad or mom, they're not playing me.
Yeah.
So why should I come to the games?
Yeah.
Everything is win.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's not developing talents in some of these kids.
Yeah.
I mean, take an example, Mike Trout.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
I can remember my team playing against him. And when he was younger, I didn't think he was all that. Mm-hmm. But now as he got older, right, he developed.
Yeah, he sure did.
Okay?
Yeah.
And I can remember I was with Greg Lazinski at the time. We were talking about Mike. He said, he's going to go somewhere. Mike Lazinski said it.
Oh, that's good.
Right? He was one of the coaches in American Legion, by the way.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
he was hard to beat, too.
Didn't Greg also coach at Holy Cross or somewhere? What?
I don't know. He might have.
As high school, I thought he did that. But, yeah, I've seen him a few times at the games and stuff, you know.
I coached at Sacred Heart for a while with Don Money.
Oh, I love Don.
Don Money was at Sacred Heart. Yeah. I was the JV coach.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. That was an experience.
Yeah, I'll bet it was. It was funny.
He taught me how to coach a little, too.
Yeah, I'll bet you.
Of course, he's major league style.
Yeah.
You got to watch.
A ball player, for sure. For
right.
Milwaukee, yeah.
But I learned from him.
I had him and his grandson, Buddy Kennedy, on, and a great show. It's been many years ago, but it was so nice. And, of course, Don.
Well, Buddy with the Phillies now, right?
Well, yeah, but they cut him, so I don't know.
If did they cut him? I didn't hear that.
So I don't know where he's at now. If he's
I thought he was in the minor.
Well, I hope that's where he is now.
I thought that's where he put him in the minor.
He was one of the last cuts that they made when they came up in April, March, actually, end of March. But did you know Duke Luciano?
Yes.
From Vinelend? Yeah. Well, his great.
I knew him, talked to him. That was about it. Yes.
His great grandson is my ticket guy. What a super kid! Nick Luciano is his name, and I've had season tickets in the Hall of Fame for 21 years now, and this guy is super.
The reason I remember him, he was a powerhouse in politics.
He was very strong in the Republican Party, and he also was very instrumental with Newfield Bank. They were his two big, and of course he had Luciano's Junkyard as well. Yeah, very much so. And in fact, somebody I know got a big appointment. Tell everybody what appointment this Carl Hemple guy just got.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, because I got put on the Cumberland County Improvement Authority?
Yeah, that's fantastic. Congratulations.
I take aspirins now. Well, it's out of my expertise area.
Yeah, but you're good people.
I'm reading, I'm learning, and getting in it. And then we got Jerry Vasquez as the director.
Yeah.
I'm learning a lot from him, and no matter what they say, he runs a good operation.
He does, Carl. It's interesting.
I know he gets criticized, but he runs a good operation.
Yeah. In fact, when I was freeholder, county commissioner, I was on the.
And I might add to that, everybody makes mistakes. You understand?
Yeah. The South Jersey Development Council. I was on that with Salem County, Ben Laurie, Will Morey from Cape May County, and myself. And there was another one from Atlantic County, Bob something, I forget his name. Anyway, I'm sitting at one of the meetings, and all of a sudden they're praising the Cumberland County Improvement Authority. And I'm so proud. They said, oh my God, Jerry did this for us in Salem. He helped us expand the courthouse at half the money. And then down in Cape May County, Route 9 and 47, they had a shopping center that was gone out of business basically. So the county took it over, and Jerry developed that for them. And Will Morey said, Jim, he did a fantastic job. What made me feel good as a Cumberland County freeholder, that our Cumberland County Improvement Authority, and Jerry Velasquez was the one that did an awful lot of good things. And I go back to Jerry when we started the empowerment zone in 2000. I was mayor of Millville, and he was the first executive director we had there, and did an excellent job. In fact, they still have the empowerment zone going. Jackson, I forget her first name, but she's running it now for the empowerment zone. But
well, I can remember Albert Kelly was on that board, I guess, 40 years, 30 years, something like that. And he just retired from it. But in his last meeting, he had mentioned that Jerry is the best director that they was ever there.
Oh, I agree.
At the CCIA.
Yeah. I was around it from, I guess, 97 or whatever.
I don't know if that's true or not, but I guess he ought to know. He's been there a long time.
Yeah, and everything. I've had Jerry on the show and stuff, and it's amazing. Like the Millville Library, he was able to build that. Get that done. The Vinelend Police Department, all kind of things that saved the city money because he knew how to get the grants and all the funding and things like that. So they've done a great job. He certainly has, and I'm glad at least I think they extended it for a couple more years, which is good to see. And
that was a journey.
Yeah, no, I know it was. I've heard. Of course, I'm friendly with Joe Condo, who I think. Well, I'll tell you what, is Mike Testa not the best?
Yes.
Oh my God, he is
Senator.
Amazing. Senator Testa, yes. And,
Okay.
well, Mike, his dad is a pretty super guy too.
I love his dad.
Oh, isn't he a great guy?
He
My
is.
God. Well, no wonder Senator Mike is such a good person. But he is so good, so charismatic, so good to talk with, is out there and helps people every way he can, and just amazing.
He's a man.
He is. He really is.
And you know Shirley Scribner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's now the president of the CCIA
Oh, okay. Super.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
for this year.
Okay. And what's impressed me so much with Senator Testa, and to some degree his right-hand man, Joe Condo, they've been able to build that Republican Party with 125, 150 people go to breakfast. The Democrats can't get 20 people to go to breakfast. And it's, they've really done a great job.
Well, listen, I love both of them.
Yeah.
But when you go to Morris River, rescue
Morris-
squad or fire
Morristown
squad down
Fires,
there for
yeah.
breakfast,
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
they don't draw them. The breakfast does.
I'm
sorry.
Yeah.
I'm teasing now. No, I just got in trouble.
Well, it's funny.
Them men down there, they can cook.
I know they can.
They pack them in down there.
Yeah. Oh, Freddie Hunt, those guys are unbelievable. I used to go there. Millville Rescue Squad used to have their banquet there each year when I was mayor. My God, the food was fabulous. And, hospitality, what a beautiful place, too. Very, very nice as well.
They ought to be proud.
Yeah, absolutely. And, again.
But it's a good thing because you get a lot of people attending. They just had one a couple of weeks ago, and they packed it. And it gives a chance for, like Senator Testa and some of the commissioners to tell what's going on in the community.
Yeah.
Because you got a large group together. And a lot of times you can't get that anymore.
No. Well,
People don't want to get into politics anymore.
And who's one of my favorite people was one of your people on TV or radio is Jimmy Sorrow, and he's the county commission director now. And
He was on our station for like 18 years.
I know he was.
He started off with Trout, the father.
Oh, with Jeff.
Jeff.
Oh, that's cool.
They started together.
I'll be darned.
And then eventually Jeff dropped off.
Right. Wow.
And then Sorrow went on.
Yeah. And Jim, congratulations.
The show was called Straight Talk.
That's right. I do remember that. Yeah, I would
Had a
listen to
theme
it.
song and all. He was right, wasn't he?
Yeah. Well, isn't Bobby Romano still with you?
He is.
Yeah, I knew he's been there a long time.
He's
too.
on once a month,
Okay.
first Monday of the month at 8 o'clock.
So who else? Doug Albrecht's on?
Doug Albrecht is on every Monday at 6 to 7. I had to think.
Right.
We have 40-some shows.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah, so I had to think.
Yeah, no, that's
That's
good.
hard for
Yeah.
me. You know what I mean? Getting old. You all realize he invited me in because it's Senior Citizen Month. He's having seniors this month.
You want 25 senior citizens like this man. You can do anything.
That's why. See, that's why I've had
Let's
hats.
show your hats.
I have to have hats to remind me where I'm going, where I'm going. Right.
Well, tell me. You were
So
telling me.
this one here is if I go camping. That's my camping hat. And my wife has one also.
Boy, that's sharp. And tell everybody who you go camping with besides your wife. Who's that nice?
I'm going to tell that. You get me in trouble?
Who, the chief?
Oh, Chief Bondi
Yeah, you can
and
talk about
Michelle.
Chief,
Yeah, they
yeah.
go to the same campground,
Yeah.
Old Cedar. We like
Yeah.
Old Cedar. This is when we have remotes and we go out with the WVLT radio. And actually, Steve Tatz bought me this hat one year as a present.
I like Steve.
You know?
Good guy.
And that's to remind me where I'm going. You know, when
Yeah,
you get old,
right.
you need help.
Yeah, that's
you
true.
understand? This here's my District 3 hat for Little League. I'm assistant
wow.
director over with Tom McCarville as one of the ADAs.
wow,
and
that's
that's to remind me I'm going to that meeting when I put my hat on. During Veterans Day and all that, I need this hat, because I was in the Army and got out. So I remind me I'm going to a ribbon cutting or something for the whatever they're having military-wise that particular day.
You should have run for office.
And then this one's my pleasure hat. That's when I go on my cruise, the Norwegian.
Oh yeah, I love the Norwegian cruise lines.
And then I used to work for one of your guys, Bertzel, Tom Umpires, going back a ways from Millville.
Bernstein.
And that's my umpire hat. Now, of course, I don't use this anymore. I can't get down there anymore. I can't get down. Once I get down, I can't get up. But
yeah, but it's interesting.
Crazy, right?
Oh yeah, but
got to have some fun.
Look at all the fun you've had and what you enjoy, and all the people you have, the people you're friends with, and all that kind of stuff. I mean, what a great life you've made for yourself. To your credit, nothing was given to you, but you've worked hard, and I know, like you said, you went to Bridgeton High School, right?
I did.
And one of my cousins, what was it, Patty? Who graduated with you?
Curly.
Yeah. My grandmother was a Curly, and she had 9 brothers and 3 sisters, she being one of the sisters. And the 9 brothers actually had a semi-pro baseball team. And there's a picture of them. I saw it in Cooperstown. And then Saturday, well, they're also in the South Jersey Hall of Fame as well. Well, the guy Dave Hitchner.
Yes.
Isn't he a great guy?
Yeah.
My goodness. Talk about a person that's done so much in the community and sports.
Been around.
Yeah, he really has. He's another wonderful person.
I want to mention that American Legion baseball, right?
Mm-hmm.
Going back, a guy named Prinkle from Vinelend or Millville. I can't remember his first name, and there was another gentleman. They wanted to get involved in American Legion baseball because of travel back then.
Sure.
Right. So they contacted John Rose, and then you remember John Rose?
Yeah, sure. I replaced him as a freeholder.
Yeah, he was very high Democratic.
Yes, he was. Yeah.
He was like a father to me.
Oh, that's nice.
Loved him to death.
That's great.
So he calls me. So we were the first 4 that got together to have American Legion baseball.
That's
We
great.
started it.
I knew John was involved in it. Yeah.
We started it. So John was in for a long time. In fact, John's in the American Legion Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Oh, that's fantastic. That's
I don't
great.
know how he got there, but because I love doing that. But anyhow, he's there. So anyhow, after we ran these other guys out, then Cerace and the judge
Steve
came
Nieder
along.
came in, yeah.
Then it got a little bit tougher, folks.
Yeah, they were good coaches for sure.
But the 2 original guys, they were good. I mean, that's how we started, though, American Legion baseball
super.
in Cumberland County.
What year was that?
Then, oh my God, that was back in 1980.
Okay. Yeah.
And then we expanded and we joined the Camden County League.
I see.
And because that was huge.
Right.
I mean, you had
More
Cherry Hill,
competition.
you had Brooklawn, you had
Yeah.
Runnymede, you had, it was strong.
Yeah, that's super.
And that was good baseball.
Yeah. Oh, it was. Yes. I've seen some of the games over at Alden Field where you guys were playing. We're talking with Carl Hemple, who is the everything for WVLT, Crusin 92.1. We'll be back to talk more with Carl right after these messages.
C&H Disposal Service has provided customers with the best customer service possible since 1981. C&H Disposal Service provides trash removal, dumpster rentals, septic cleaning, repair and installation, septic system certifications, portable restroom rentals, and demolition. With great customer service and competitive pricing, C&H Disposal Service has you covered at the home and on the job. C&H Disposal Service. Stick with the best.
Thunderbolt Area Federal Credit Union is your hometown team for banking. We offer banking which is small town focused and customer based. We know you and we are for you. Thunderbolt Area Federal Credit Union is a nonprofit and federally insured. Solid as a Thunderbolt airplane, we are your team. Thunderbolt Area Federal Credit Union, 1601 Cedar Street.
Hi, I'm Bob Millard, President of Thunderbolt Area Federal Credit Union. Come see us and experience banking as it used to be.
Many people treat their health like a game. With the Complete Care Health Network, it's easy to start your healthcare journey. Our mental health services focus on the emotions and behaviors that affect your overall well-being and features psychiatric, counseling, and addiction services, including our exclusive Fresh Start program, designed to help combat the opioid epidemic in our communities, plus all the other specialties you expect from Complete Care. Level up your health with us. The Complete Care Health Network. No games, just great healthcare for everyone.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community, local representatives, supporting events, and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
C&H Disposal Service has provided customers with the best customer service possible since 1981. C&H Disposal Service provides trash removal, dumpster rentals, septic cleaning, repair and installation, septic system certifications, portable restroom rentals, and demolition. With great customer service and competitive pricing, C&H Disposal Service has you covered at the home and on the job. C&H Disposal Service. Stick with the best.
Welcome back to Around South Jersey. Carl Hemple, the CEO, general manager, president, you name it, and, of Crusin 92.1 WVLT. And I'm sure many of you enjoy listening to it. Now, when you were growing up and when I was growing up, the first radio station I worked for was WWBZ. You remember Bob Records Krager?
Yes.
Because he used to take requests on Saturday nights. Yep. But this is a funny story.
Let's go way back.
Here I am, a college graduate, teacher's degree, and I'm teaching, but I always wanted to do radio. So they hired me from 6 to 8 each evening, Monday through Friday, and then I had a 10 to 2 thing to do with JQ on WWBZ. Anyway, their introduction to their news was the letter, W. So anyway, I get on the air and I go, news from WWBZ, and Roy Lawrence comes in and goes, Jim, it's not W, it's W. And I will never forget that. I'm thinking, my God, I just finished my degree at college. I don't know how to say the right word or the right, the calls for WWBC. And that was a tough one. You had 2 in a row, But WVLT is popular. And boy, thank God you're still around. I mean, when you look at it, there is no other FM in Cumberland County that is popular.
All the other stations.
They have the low-powered FMs.
All the other stations have either gone out of business or moved.
Yeah, that's true. 97.3 moved down.
Going back, it's interesting because if you remember years ago, I had called you for when you had sold your station.
Right.
I had asked you for permission to take over the country store. Mm-hmm. You said, yeah, you gave me permission. It's one of our hottest shows.
It is popular, isn't it?
We're on Saturdays from 12 until 1.
I forgot about
Amy Burgess.
That's super. Yeah.
And it's one of our hottest shows. Amy Burgess.
Amy B. Burgess. Oh. Yeah, I mean, to SNJ's credit, that show, Off the Cuff with Paul Huntsberger, was one of the other popular shows, and George Moore's show was popular. I forget what his was called. But I couldn't believe, they had all these blog programs, How about the Birdwatcher show or whatever that was? Can you imagine on radio? But they
listened.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, it was
another one
not.
was the bystander.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Every morning I would listen to the bystander when I was younger.
Yeah, and you know, it was old-fashioned radio, as Carl I've talked about. Normally, like when I was at WMVB, it was 24 hours a day, music and all that stuff, as yours had been. And then, like you realized, and I realized, you can't do that. You need to have, you know, like your talk shows, your religious shows. At least they pay for their time, so you got somebody that's doing that.
We talked about this earlier. The shame of it is now that AMs, I mean, FMs took over from AMs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, most people listen to the FMs. Unless you have a specialty, you know, you don't listen to AM. I mean, for an example, we have an AM, but it's Spanish. It's a specialty.
Sure,
right?
absolutely.
But now, where car dealers, when they're making automobiles, they're not putting AM radios.
I just heard that, yeah.
And what's happening now is because of all that, some of these AM radio stations are turning in their license.
Mm.
They can't make it because they're saying that most people listen to radio in their cars.
Yeah, that's true. That's where I listen.
If they listen to it, they listen to it in their cars.
Yeah.
So if you're not going to put an AM radio in the car, they don't even put CD players anymore.
That's true. They don't.
Right?
You're right. Yeah.
So they said we can't make it. So I mean, people don't understand how much it costs to run a TV or a radio station.
You bet.
It's not cheap.
No, it's not.
I mean, we have 2 stations, and our electric bill is $1,800 a month.
And you're with Vinelend Electric too.
We're Vinelend
Can you imagine
Electric.
if it was Atlantic Electric, it'd be $3,600 a month.
Right, and then the other thing is you have to pay royalty fees for all the music you play.
Yeah, that's right. Sure.
There's
ASCAP,
4
BMI,
companies now.
CSAC.
There's 4 companies now that charge you. All right, play one of their songs that they have the license for.
Yeah.
And you get fined. And if you're a tavern, they'll take your jukebox right out of the tavern.
I know. That's true. Sure.
So, and insurance. I mean, the insurance. Your fixed expenses are so high, and they're going up.
Yes.
That it's just hard to run radio. I don't know about TV as much, but
it's very similar.
You know,
believe me.
it's just hard anymore. And they're making it more difficult. I mean, I always thought that the AMs, when the FM came in, the AMs were created more for some of the minorities that didn't have the opportunity of owning an FM station. So they were given the opportunity of owning an AM station. So now they're taking it away from them.
And also the nice part about the AMs back a few years ago was talk radio, sports, stuff like that were on the AMs. 1210, WIP 610, you know, KYW, News Radio, 1060. I mean, you know, they were things that were very popular. Now, I know 1210 is still popular for the things they do. 610.
I do listen to 1210.
610 went to 92, 94.1, this 610 now, WIP. But, you know, it has changed. The one benefit for, like, WSNJ, that they were able to get 2 small FM translators, whatever they call it, that go with that. So, you know, hopefully they get some listeners on the FM from that standpoint.
Yeah, our AM, we have an FM translator.
Oh, okay.
It took forever to get it. Okay.
Yeah.
And then when they give them to you, you got certain boundaries you have to go into.
Right. Yeah.
Well, the one area we wanted to get, we couldn't get it.
I see.
So that was a disappointment.
Yeah.
But at least we got an FM translator on the AM. So we have the AM, and then we also have a 92.9 FM.
Oh, okay.
But it didn't. The FCC put so many restrictions that we couldn't get where we wanted to go to Bridgeton.
Sure, understandable. Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of Latino over in
exactly.
Bridgeton, and that was cut out on us. So, but it's just interesting the way the direction radio is going.
Yeah. Yes, it is. That's for sure.
And then you get, for an example, I know you talk to the colleges where they all have radio stations for training.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, WGLS.
Well, what's happening is a lot of the students now are not going into radio.
Yeah.
So they have to bring in outside people to help run these stations because they don't have enough students taking radio.
Yeah.
They're taking TV, but they're not taking radio.
Yeah, good point. Yeah.
So,
boy, you know, Carl, this Diane Allen, you know her, right? Anyway,
Yeah.
I had Diane on. I was interviewing her, and what I didn't say was when I got my first job at WWBZ, like I say, I got my degree. It was, you know, I was teaching school, but I loved radio. So thank God I had a real job because the pay that they gave me was $1.65 an hour, which was minimum wage.
That's one thing. Radio hasn't changed.
No, that's right. and Diane told me the same thing. She went to Glassboro also. I think she's a couple years younger than me. She said, Jim, when she went out, she went to the Mount Holly radio station, and it was $1.65 or $1.75 an hour. But what it is you get the experience. Like I hired Mike Bowe at WMVB for minimum wage, I'm sure, but he was able to move up the Magic and made a good living out of it. You know, the guy that's...
The only problem with all that now, Jim, is that in the Philadelphia stations and New York stations, those ones that were making big bucks, they're cutting them.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And what they're doing is like if they have 5 stations, they're taking one station, simulcasting on the other 4.
Yeah.
So they're cutting out all that salary.
Yeah, so right, 4/5 are gone. You know, they use the one to do all of them. Yeah.
So the day of making big money in radio
is gone.
It's pretty well gone.
Yeah, and it's something people wanted. Especially, I always wanted to be a radio announcer. You know, I knew that as a high school kid and all that kind of stuff. And luckily, I got to do it. But then I got smart, like Carl was and did and has been. Was finally they said to me, "Why don't you do some sales?" Well, that's where I made money because I got 20% commission on what I was selling.
Yeah, but you was always good at sales.
Well, I didn't know that, Carl.
Everybody tells me you're a good bullshitter.
Yeah, but you're even the best. I mean, you're my idol. And I don't have the hats. But it was something that, again, you build the relationships, you know, with people and do that kind of stuff. But, yeah, I mean, at least I was eventually able to go from full-time teaching. I became a speech therapist. I did 4 days a week down to 2 days a week of speech therapy as I was building my business up. Then, like I say, it's 47 years. I've been running the local cable channel, you know.
It was interesting a few years back. It's been many years back now. They had a contest on who was the best radio, newspaper, TV salesman, right? You got TV. Marie Gallo got newspaper.
Oh, she was super.
And I got for the radio part.
Well, I can't disagree with that.
that was an honor, actually, to be in that company.
Yeah, I agree with you, buddy. Yeah, because you're one of my idols.
Marie Gallo got around.
She did. She was super. She worked briefly for me, but what a great lady. She really was. In fact, there was a woman, her name is Maggie Laird now. I forget she married Ralph Laird. You probably knew him. It was with South State. Ralph passed away. But she did sales, and oh my God, she was amazing. Just very, very good lady doing sales.
But even with that, look at newsprint. I mean, newsprint's disappearing.
Yeah, I mean, I never buy a paper. I do read the Daily Journal on my phone, and that costs me $70 a year or something, you know, to get that. And that's so I can see which one of our colleagues passed away.
You look at the obituary,
make sure
see if
I'm
your
not
name's
there. Right? Yeah, I'm happy I'm not there today. Oh yeah.
I mean, I always used to love to have coffee and read my paper in the morning.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
It's hard anymore.
Yeah. In fact, I thank God for the phone. I mean, that's what I read all the time. You know, newspaper stories and, you know, all the different things that are hitting and stuff like that. I mean, that's sort of become.
It's the feel of the paper.
I know. Yeah. Well, I love that.
I'm sorry.
It's just gone.
That's because we're old.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. But I guess I adapted to, okay, no more newspapers and, you know, again, it's all the internet. I mean, it's.
But didn't you have South Jersey Times, or you never had that?
No.
I mean, the paper is so expensive anymore, even.
Yeah, that's
just
true.
To have them printed by page or whatever.
I did do a sports paper, Sports Scoop, it's called.
Yeah, I knew you had something.
Yeah, weekly sports paper. We did that for quite a while. Yeah,
but you only have like maybe 3 left.
Yeah,
I'm calling them weeklies or whatever they are.
Exactly. Yeah.
You only have about 3 left.
Yeah.
And some of them now are going on internet.
Yes, right.
And I know 2 of them that went on internet say they're making more money by being on internet than they were with the paper.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting, isn't it?
It is, because, you know, again, the internet, it's, you know, it's
the pandemic changed a lot of things.
It did, didn't it, Carl?
It changed a lot of things.
That's true. Yeah.
I mean, you and I, whether it's TV or whatever, we deal with mostly the local merchants.
Yes, we do.
We don't have Home Depot or all those big companies buy us like some of the big stations do.
Yeah.
So, and what happens? The small merchant, family-owned businesses are the ones that get hurt the most when you have things going on, like it's going on now with the stock market there for a while.
Right.
You know, which it went back up, I guess, today.
I did hear, he delayed the tariffs for 90 days.
So it makes it rough for us in a small market.
Yeah.
In a small market.
Very, very tough. I've never seen it this difficult, you know, to be able to do. And, you know, I mean, it's one of those situations where it's very.
I was talking to you earlier one time when we used to have weather closings for schools.
Yeah, right. Oh, they were very popular.
I had so many I couldn't handle them all, right? But now what happens is the schools call the parents and tell them school's canceled.
Right. Yeah.
So I go to an advertiser, you want to sponsor weather closing? Why should I? I mean, nobody's listening to it now. They already know.
Yeah, that's true.
So everything has changed. It's changed everything.
Yeah, it really has. You're right. I mean, it's amazing. It really is how things have just, and for radio and local TV and things like that, it's much more difficult,
And even with your car shows that you used to run.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, I have RK Chevrolet, Auto Group. They've been with me forever. Mm-hmm. But even they are doing more online.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have the photo, you see the car, you want to bid on it, fine. So, even dealers like that, it would be hard to run now a remote like you used to run.
I used to do it with Bob McCormick at Toyota Vinelend.
Yeah.
And, like you say, it's, very difficult, to be able to do because people just go to the phone, Siri, I'm looking for 2015, blah, 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 or 20 or whatever, it pops up where they are in the area, so you don't have to sit and watch an hour TV show to see if you see the car you like. But
the only thing we preach on our stations, both of them, is shop local.
Yeah,
we try to help our local merchants because if they make money, then they're going to advertise with us, to get the word out there, what they have, where they're at, what's new, what's whatever.
Yeah.
And without that, without pushing that and helping, we can't survive.
No, in fact, it's interesting. I actually give people, businesses that would like, no charge, to come in and do an hour show with their business, and George puts up the business behind us and different things that they have, because at least that gives them the opportunity to reach a market, hopefully. And again, the YouTube thing helps a lot because it's on YouTube as well. So if anybody has a business, in fact, have you ever been to Pickwick, the restaurant?
No.
It's it's across from St. Augustine Prep, basically off Route 40. But a friend of mine's, my hair cutter, her son is just bought into it. Really neat place, good food, and the Luciano guy that I was talking about, my ticket person, we meet out there. He loves it. And I was there for that shepherd's pie right before St. Patty's Day. It was delicious. So, I'm going to have them on. I'm going to have David on.
We have on that particular area, we have Larry Leonelli.
Oh,
LA Mail.
Sure, absolutely.
He does that. He has guests coming.
That's right. He does. That's right.
Has guests
has his own show. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah,
he does a good job. He's been on for a long time with that show.
That's good. And it's a real nice store with a good place. And personally, I want to go to the local store where I can. I mean, I love Brian at Al's Shoes. You know what I mean? It's like I want to go where I know the person and,
Well, how many people measure your foot anymore?
Well, thank God.
You go to Al's Shoes, Brian will measure your foot. How many people do that anymore?
And you know what, Carl? He helped me.
Don't have any holes in your socks, folks.
That's right. Yeah. He helped me because I thought I was a size 10. He goes, Jim, you're a 10 and a half. And when he did that, I went, oh, my God, these shoes are so comfortable.
Right.
And, I just go in and give me whatever. Nobody measures the shoes. I was buying them at Boscov's, and I thought, I like Boscov's, but this is nice. And, Brian's local and, is a good guy. So, like you say, the more local business you can do, the better it is. And I certainly do a lot of business with local restaurants because unlike this...
Yeah, I know you like to eat.
Yeah, well, unlike this handsome guy who has a beautiful wife at home that can make meals for him, I don't have anybody at home.
I think you've been with Queen Diner forever.
But
forever.
I got to tell you, though, the doctor had told you I have this weight loss surgery, so I can only eat half of whatever they give me. I went the other day to Mars River Diner. And
that's good down there.
Oh, it is very good. And the portion, when I go home tonight, I'm eating a late dinner, I'll have last night's dinner.
Leftovers?
It's gigantic. Their portions are phenomenal. And, again, I like Larry's too, and, all the different ones. We're lucky to have we have the Olympia. My God, we have so many. I love the Town Tavern too. My God, that's fabulous with its
I like the Popeye.
You know what?
Wednesdays and Sundays they have chicken Popeye made like Grandma used to make.
Oh, my God. Carl, I got to tell you, heartbreaking story. I love it like you did. So I go over there on a Wednesday, and I take a couple bites of chicken pot pie. I can't keep it down. I can't eat it anymore because the sleeve surgery I had cuts my stomach basically in half. I can't eat rolls. I can't eat rice. I can't eat spaghetti. And my gosh, I can't eat chicken pot pie, and I loved it. I used to love it, but it helps me keep the weight off. See, you're my idol. If I want to look as good as you someday, keep your weight down. Well, you do, to your credit.
Thank you.
It's good. Carl, thank you, man, for coming in.
You're welcome.
Always
Pleasure
good to see you.
I'm glad you had us old timers in once in a while.
That's right. Well, next time we have Senior Citizen Month, I'll have us back together.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
And George, thank you for running everything out there. I don't know what he'd do without you.
Yeah, you bet. George Kachia is the man. Thank you again, George, for all that you did for us today. And thank you, Carl, for being with us. And thank you for joining us, everybody. We'll see you real soon. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
This has been a QBC television production, in association with our partners and sponsors. QBC broadcasts on Comcast Cable Channel 22, and live streams its programming on Facebook and YouTube. All rights reserved by Quinn Media and QBC. Programming that serves the South Jersey market.